No.
Anyway, this is good for all Tesla investors. All right. So we've been saying this. I think we've been talking about Tesla for a long time, that if you're still not invested, I wonder what the bear case is. And I don't know. Everyone here has some Tesla stock, I think, at this point. So what is the bear case, Chris, if you were to bring one up?
Except AMIT.
Okay, so let me
AMIT doesn't have some Tesla stock.
I sold my 22 shares of Tesla, which was such a phenomenally large position, to load up on some regional banks that were, I think, more undervalued than Tesla at the time. And the return I have on those banks, because I did a particular strategy, was simply Tesla would have to go a lot higher than 160 to 240 or whatever is that for me to get a return, because my average was like 215. So, you know, my thing is, like, you guys got in Tesla really early. I'm not saying Tesla is not early now. I'm saying at a $700 billion company, for it to 10x to be 7 trillion, a lot needs to happen. Not saying it can't happen, but a lot needs to happen. From 70 to 700 billion, a lot didn't need to happen realistically. They just had to keep doing what they were doing. And so I think there's better opportunities that are undervalued in the short term. And if you have a little bit of cash and you want a lot more return, you can't put it into Tesla because it's going to take a while for that return to happen. So,
okay,
man, that sounds like he's an investor now, man. That sounds
that's a trader. I'm sorry, but
how is that? Wait, how is that a trader? This is about making money. This is not about being in a cult.
You're chasing. You're saying I only had 20 shares.
Wait, are you saying we're cult members, like me and Carlos?
Yeah.
I'm saying if you say you'll never sell the stock,
I said that on the WhatsApp, and I'm like,
I will sell the stock. I've said this 1,000 times. In fact, as it goes over $1 trillion.
Okay, so my point is, Vitaly, why should I be buying at 700 billion if I have 20 grand and I want that 20 grand to yield me more than a couple of?
Well, I think Carlos had an answer for you, so let him answer first.
Okay, go ahead, Carlos. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just answering something bad. No, I'm just saying, like, I started my Tesla position with 5 shares, dude. I'm not a trader. I'm an investor. I only sold what I told you on.
What was the market cap you bought it at?
I don't even remember at the time. But I started with 5 shares. This is how you build a position. And with these large companies, like my position in Apple was huge at a certain point. But why? Because I held it long enough that it would split 9 times during the time that I owned it. This is how you get these share counts.
So let me add a caveat. If I had an average of 215 and I sold when it was 160, I took a $400 loss on my 20 shares. And I put it into something. I don't want to say how much return I've got on it.
I know,
but it is a lot more than what I would have got if it was 240, which is 30.
But what you're doing is you're looking back now, right? You're looking back and patting yourself on the back because you're going back.
Hell yeah, I'm patting myself on the back. That was a great move. What?
No, what I'm saying is you're looking back in time and you're saying, well, it worked out because I did this and this and this and this.
No, but it worked out because I didn't do some stupid shit. It worked out because you put your money in a really undervalued opportunity, way more undervalued than Tesla.
Okay, you could have put your money into SoFi and said the same thing.
I think the easiest thing to say is, instead of trying to convince him how great Tesla is, that's not the point. Everyone knows that. The point is, at around 600, 700 billion, I wasn't buying Apple. I wasn't buying Google because I was like, where are they going to go? What's going to happen to them? Are they going to make any more money? How are they going to go to 1.2 trillion? And that's why I didn't buy Apple, by the way. I was like, okay, it's 500 billion, 600 billion. Dude, it's almost 3 trillion. That's still a 6x from where I was looking at it and thinking about buying it.
Yeah, but how long did that take, Vitaly? That took almost 5 years.
Okay, you know what really irked me about when we were talking. This is what really irked me in the WhatsApp when we're talking about it, is you sound exactly like me at 25, dude. I thought the same thing. I had the same because I made a lot of these same mistakes. If I would have just held everything in my portfolio, dude, I would have been retired by 32. But I did the same thing. I was like, oh, how much long is this going to run? How much long? If I would have just held fucking Netflix or even my Meta position or Facebook at the time that I bought at IPO at $35. I mean, do you understand?
Yeah, but Facebook was a $30 billion company. You don't understand. My average was a 215 at a $650 billion market cap. That's not let me wait till it becomes a $6 trillion company. Like, that's a way longer time horizon. I'm not retired at 32.
I know, but you also made the mistake. So as it goes down,
waiting, you also, when VITALY,
hold on, as it goes down and we're buying it, me and Carlos were buying it as it was going down towards 100, 150, 120. We were buying it. Okay. You can go to our Discord. You can see it.
I bought calls on
my
Tesla.
point is, that's how you get your average lower, not by selling out and going into regional banking. You get your average lower in a quality company that's making bank. Look, that's obviously changing the future. And if you're not betting on companies, hold on, this is actually important. If you're not betting on companies like Enphase and Tesla that are changing the future, honestly, like, you're missing the most massive opportunity that's happening right now. Like, you're just missing. You're going to miss it, and it's going to be sad. You're going to be rich anyway, though, because you have Odia and you have this channel. So you might be okay there, but still you're missing a massive opportunity.
And to be fair, you bought it at 212, but where were you when it was, we knew each other when it was 100, when it tanked in December, when it was tanked, we were screaming, we were banging the drum on this company for a long time.
That I can't go back in time.
You'd have been sitting on a 2.5, you'd have been sitting on 225 or 250% returns. Whatever money you put into Tesla, I say 20,000, you'd be sitting on 65 grand right now. If you had bought, say, in
but
November
Carlos, that's like
year.
saying if you bought it at 2010, which you could have.
No, but what you're doing is you're patting yourself in the back for saying I made this trade. But what I'm saying is you only were in a loss because when we were telling you it's $100 right now. Tesla was way oversold because of Twitter. Are you fucking kidding me?
You're correct on that. You're correct on the, but I can go back in time in January and say, I think you're equating a quote unquote trading mindset with that being like the byproduct of not buying the dip in January. Whereas in reality, I didn't really understand Tesla in January. And that was the reason to not buy it, which is a mistake on me. But
you also sold out of Enphase, right?
I also sold Enphase as well.
Yeah, and you don't understand both of them, but you understand regional banking.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
and you're going
I disagree with this, man. Like, I'm not going to sit around and wait with those companies for the next 5, 6, 7 years when there's a better opportunity that is undervalued that will give me more than enough money when that plays out to be able to then invest in those companies.
You're buying businesses here, man. You're buying businesses.
But that's true. But here's an example. When Meta was trading around $80, $90, I came around to everyone that I could. And I said, look, this is one of those opportunities that no one should miss, because even if I was a holder in some other plays that I had conviction in, I sold out of them. I know that long-term, those will still return me a good amount of money. But in the short term, I know that this was one of those rare moments where the market is dislocated and I can make money hand over fist. So you know what? Even if I get called a trader, whatever, I am still going to take that opportunity. I'm not going to say, well, you know what? I'm too principled to not sell my other things just so that I don't look like a trader. No, I have principles that I live by, but I'm also at the same time have other principles that tell me if there is an opportunity in the market where there's huge levels of dislocation, that you should take them, apply them to your investments, get in, make the money that you need to get the market back to where it's supposed to trade at. Use that capital to buy back into their other core positions that you had some bullishness towards. This was one of those rare opportunities that comes around every 10 years, right? Where things go fucking ape shit. People sell things irrationally. October was that time where Google was trading at 50% below its all-time highs. Amazon is still trading was trading at its 2019 values. Remember, we did an entire episode on that. So it's dumb at that point to say, you know what, maybe I'll hold on to this company that I think over the next 10 years could perform, versus Amazon, which is performing, Meta, which is performing.
Hold on. I agree with you. And you're talking about the best quality companies.
Right.
Okay. This is what I'm saying. You're supposed to move your funds into Amazon, into Google, into Tesla, into
out of them.
No, not out of them. You're making my point for me, but yet you're going into much more speculative plays.
KRIS actually made
even if it'll work out. Even if it'll work out.
You're actually not getting it, V. So this is the summary of what's going on.
I got it. I bought Truist.
You and Carlos have a philosophical orientation towards investing that says,
Clark, get out of here.
Let me finish.
Oh my God.
Buy the dip. It'll make sense in a second. And then I want your response. Buy the dip on the best companies in the world and stay with it. KRIS obviously thinks the same. I think the same. But KRIS studies the market much more intimately in terms of the day-to-day. And he sees shit that none of us see. I think we can all agree he has seen shit that none of us can see. So what you guys are inadvertently admitting is you got two things right, Enphase and Tesla. But you don't have the ability to do the research. You don't have the ability to do the research every day to find those hidden gems.
Yeah.
And because if you found a hidden gem that's going to 5, 6x in a year, why wouldn't you go there? But it takes a lot of research. No one has the time. You guys have full-time jobs, all that shit. So if KRIS is able to do that, that's why his argument makes a lot of sense to why would I leave my shit stuck here?
I'll give you,
and hold on.
Again, the
conclusion to this is a philosophical disagreement.
No, it's not.
You guys are right.
No, it's not. And what
it doesn't mean KRIS is wrong.
No, it's not. And part of your debate strategy is always to spin it into a philosophical debate, to not make it about the numbers. This is about the numbers.
No. If you look at my Robinhood right now, this is only about the numbers. This is all numbers. To me,
let me ask you a question. I just want to
the error. This is what I'm coming back to. Okay, the error here, and I'm not even going to say the error, but I think the missed opportunity here was not like in the same way that KRIS pointed out a massive opportunity, right? With say Truist, VITALY and I were pointing out a massive opportunity in a company like Tesla, and an ability to get in to a company that has a tremendous growth trajectory, very very early, or not even early, but at a way lower valuation than what it should be trading.
Yeah, but so that doesn't matter if you pick one or the other if they're both massive opportunities.
So this comes with experience, by the way. We know trading out of companies. We know this already. We've done it. Me and Carlos, and I've traded out of great companies, dude. Because there was a cheaper little tiny company, and I invested in so many shit coins and so many tiny.
But I didn't invest in a shit coin. I didn't invest in
hold on.
No one's saying
because the 10x was obvious that was going to happen, and the 10x wasn't obvious with companies like Apple and Google. It just wasn't obvious back then. Meaning we knew they were going up, but to go up that much, nobody even thought about it. We thought it was impossible, honestly. Tesla, how many people thought it would go from 40 billion straight to $1 trillion, like over a year? Like, who would have thought about that?
There's one thing I do want to point out, and put up Johnny's comments on there really quickly. Johnny said Amit and KRIS are traders, VITALY and Carlos are investors, right? He's using that logic, and I'll tell you where that logic is flawed. It's flawed because it depends on the timing in which you're looking at. When the market is running like a nice, smooth, just going in a circular direction in a bullish trend, I am an investor. I will buy companies that I think will grow just like that. But in a bear market where there are opportunities, yes, I will trade into a position, get in, make a crap ton of cash, get out, and use those gains to diversify myself into long-term plays. That is what you're supposed to do. Capital is not an unlimited thing, neither, unless you guys have if you guys have like a money printer on the hand where you can, every chance that you have an opportunity, you have cash ready on the side going in. It's a different thing. All I'm saying is I will hold companies for 5 years, 10 years plus. Okay. My only thing is right now there are opportunities where markets are dislocated, and this is a good time to buy stuff that if Mr. Market is giving you a discount, buy it, hold it, get into a price where it's going to go back to its normal trading range, right? And then you can sell out of that position and buy some longer term conviction plays. That's
KRIS. I just want to say,
what's wrong with KRIS said? You got
no. I agree with what KRIS said. I actually am only disagreeing with you. Okay, I'm not disagreeing with KRIS because KRIS does his homework himself. He has the conviction himself. You're buying into his conviction.
Well, I had to agree with his. No, if I bought
that
Tesla
never works
in January,
out well.
Hold on, if I bought Tesla in January because of you guys, I'd be buying into your conviction. So that's a wash.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that
ultimately I have to make the decision, right?
Yeah, Palantir is your conviction, by the way. So
no. But in terms of Truist versus Tesla, I had way more conviction on Truist after spending 5 hours with KRIS in terms of undervaluation versus Tesla. Now you can subjectively disagree.
What would happen if Truist right now tanks? Let's say it tanks.
What happens if Tesla tanks
and stays around $25 for the next 2-3 years?
What happens if Tesla? What happens if Tesla's margins are fucked in the next year?
I'm asking you a question. Don't divert the fucking question. Just answer.
No. Then I lose money. I lose money.
You don't lose anything.
Tesla doesn't grow either.
Hold on. If you have the shares, you don't lose anything. You can hold on to it. But my question is, do you want to sit in some regional bank for the next 2-3 years while Tesla does its double and triple and quadruple?
What if it doesn't?
Do you want to sit there?
What if Tesla?
No, I'm asking you if this is what happens. I'm just asking take a big if that maybe the world doesn't work out the way you think it will.
Happens because I can just say if
Tesla sits in the next range. By the way, as it's been sitting here, I haven't been selling anything. I've been buying only on the way down. I haven't sold a fucking share. Okay, because I have the conviction where I know it's going. So my question is, if you had to sit with Truist for the next 2-3 years, would you sit there with Truist and feel good about it?
No,
I feel good sitting with Tesla.
He would sell it. He would sell it
at a loss, just like he did Tesla. This is my point. Like, think about this real hard. That if you sat there for 2-3 years with Truist, not something you have this most ambitious conviction for. Maybe KRIS does, but you do not have that.
But how do you know? Out. You're just assuming that for me.
Okay, what if they both? What I'm saying is, what if they both tank? That's what I'm saying. What Vitaly's point is this: if you had left the money in Tesla and it tanked, like you said, you have a bad quarter. Your conviction, I'm assuming, your conviction would be like, I'm still going to hold this thing. his point is
I'm
that
gonna buy more.
if Truist, yeah, or buy more. Right, because you already invested. Let me buy more. His point is, if Truist were to tank right now, you were going after it for a moonshot that needs to hit everything. It needs to check every box. If it doesn't, you don't have the conviction in that company to hold.
You know what the problem is here? The problem is you guys made up such a weird hypothetical. We went through COVID. We went through interest rates going to 5%. Now, in a world in which interest rates are going down, the Fed is about to pause, and regionals that are at their levels at COVID are likely going to go up because you guys don't. Hold on.
No, let me finish.
You guys have not. The DD you've done on Tesla, let's just assume the DD Chris and I have done on a regional is the same. And our argument, just like your argument, is Tesla's a $400 trillion company by 2025. Our argument is Truist goes back from $30 to 45, where it was at for 6 years before it came back down.
Okay.
And hold on. Let me point another scenario. Let's say you're 25, you got 20 grand. You could 5x that money, or you could maybe 2x that money, hoping that Tesla somehow performs amazingly versus a stock going back to its mean that it was at for 6 years because of the due diligence you've done. If this is about returns, I don't give a fuck about Tesla. I care about money. And that's a money position, because then I'll have more money to buy Tesla. And I think there's nothing wrong with
I've never held anything, by the way, long enough that I had no conviction in. I just haven't.
My point is, what you're doing is you're first of all, to Chris's point about,
I would like to make a gentleman's bet.
You have to. I smell a sack. No, you have to Chris's point about responding to market conditions, right? If everything stayed the same, if COVID never happened, this would be a different conversation.
Yes,
would have probably never tanked, but also Tesla probably wouldn't have ever. So you have to respond to the. You have to respond.
No. To your point, Tesla might not have even 20x if there was not the liquidity. We got in the stimulus checks.
No, it happened before. It happened because there was a short squeeze in January before COVID. I know, it happened on my birthday.
But for it to get to that level, a lot of people had to have money to buy Tesla. Like, let's not, quantitative easing created a lot of the rally we saw. I mean, and then the fundamentals came.
I think you're missing the point.
No, it did, but I have another point. Yeah. To Chris's point about responding to whatever. When I really started doing
comment right here, this is the comment.
I'll explain.
You guys are not limited on cash.
No.
That's the difference.
Believe me.
We're all limited on cash.
Fucking money.
It's all
not at my level at 25. Not at a 25-year-old limit on cash.
Dude, my bank account is 0 at the end of every month. I don't know why.
That's because you go to Cheesecake Factory.
I just want to make this point. So
don't tell my wife.
I also, when I started to really do my due diligence, I had maybe, I don't know, $1,000 in crypto. In 2017, I was throwing, a water balloon into the ocean, hoping to ride a big wave. When I saw that it had failed, when I really started doing my research and I understood what crypto was going to do, I fucking liquidated my entire dividend portfolio and did not think twice and put it into
How is
crypto.
that not being a trader?
It's not a trader because I'm still in the position and I'm up 6x on it and I'm still accumulating.
Hold on, so if my Truist is up 6x, are you going to call me a genius then at that point?
No, because what you're right.
No, because you're mixing up that. You're mixing up.
Let me explain why.
We're happy for you to make money, by the way.
No, but you saw an opportunity when Bitcoin tanked, so you liquidated and you bought the dip. How is that not the same?
Wait, you're making a bet to something to return to the mean, dude. That's what
you're
saying.
To do.
I mean, this is his conviction.
You're trying to ride something from $30 to $45. I'm talking about something that I think is going to be $100,000.
No, Carlos, I have an option.
And I'm looking at it at
I have an option. I'm not making a $15 spread. I'm making a lot more than that because it's an option.
Yeah,
so
I
understand.
That's a nuance that really matters.
But that's what you're betting on for stock price. That's what you're betting on. Look, at the end of the day, I wrote it in the chat. You're doing the same things with the same rationale.
No, wait, hold on. I don't want to leave this topic so quickly. You said you had a dividend portfolio. You saw something was undervalued. In this case, a speculative asset like crypto, which we can agree is very speculative. You liquidate your dividend portfolio, even though that's a really solid, nice return, which is Tesla.
But he has no belief in it. This is what I'm telling you.
Can I finish the example? Yeah, he has the belief in some crypto, in Ethereum, and NFTs.
He had no belief in AT&T stock, okay?
No. Well, I had no belief in Tesla compared to the monetary return that I could get on something like a regional bank.
That's called, you know what that's called? That's called chasing.
It's called chasing and
trading. How do you not chase crypto?
Yes. No, you're chasing.
You're a fucking chaser. Admit you're a fucking chaser. That's all I'm saying.
Wait, but did you not chase crypto?
Can you change the name of the podcast?
No, because once I did the full research and understood what crypto was, not only as for the returns and as technology. I'm like,
Carlos, I did the full research on this regional bank. How is your research better than mine?
5 hours of research.
No. Right. We did about 2 weeks.
Carlos, we're not going to win this one. We're just going to win the actual Bora Bora trip that we're going on.
I don't. It's not that. Honestly, it's like. Look, I I've never met you, but I honestly, I feel like you're like a brother. Like I'm talking to you like I would talk to my brother if there wasn't 536 people watching right now. Like,
oh,
I just
shit, ring the bell. 536.
I just want to see you be as rich as I should have been 5 years from now, dude. And it's not this way. And here's the thing: if I'm you, like I agreed with Chris's DD. He made a sound case for why that's.
I bought some Truist.
But what did I do?
Yeah.
I found money. I found what I could to invest in it, but I did not touch my Tesla position. I did not liquidate any Tesla, any end phase to go into that. I made the return that I could. It's like this. VITALY and I threw a bunch of money into what was that? Bingo stuff?
BNGO. Yeah.
The chart, everything in the chart was saying this thing was going to 3x in 3 days. Now I could have thrown $100 grand in there and made $300,000, but I would not have liquidated.
We went like 10 grand or whatever it was.
I just did whatever I could.
Crazy.
And I made my whatever, 10,000 or whatever it was. I could have made 50. I could have made 100, but I certainly wasn't going to liquidate a position because I knew that like a short squeeze was coming or whatever it was. Like I don't know. That's just my strategy, and it could be that I'm in my 40s.
One quick thing:
we care about our money much more.
The position that me and AMIT have when it comes to Truist has done exceptionally well beyond the 26% from May. But we use an option strategy that I am not going to discuss. I do not want people following into our trades. It is a higher speculative bet than just buying the shares, but it has overall done very well, and I think it's going to do very well going into 2023. The point I'm trying to make is that there are sometimes opportunities that will come in the market where things are mispriced
Chris,
in the
adding
short
to that
term.
point, the reason it's done so well is because, Carlos, we got in so fucking early thanks to Chris' due diligence. And I liquidated my $4 grand in Tesla to get in that early, just like you did with dividend and crypto. And now I'm up exceptionally well.
Would it make sense
because of research and because of quick opportunities?
That's fine. Would it make sense now to take out some of those gains and spread it into higher conviction plays that you believe in for the long term?
He's in too deep and he's got to play it out. But my point is this: if the market turns against you, this is the difference. If the market would have turned against me when I went in on crypto that way, I would have bought more because I was still convicted on the play. The difference is you're waiting for a certain return.
And if it doesn't hit and it tanks, would you buy more?
If some regulatory thing happens, say the regulation that they put on crypto now affects the banking segment in a way that's unfavorable. I'm just saying.
Carlos, I can say that about Tesla. I can say some random.
You can, but my point being this. You're looking for a certain trade to happen. You're looking for certain parameters to be hit, numbers, right? To be hit for you to make a certain percent gain on your money. But you're not convicted in the company. You're convicted in the stock price.
I'm convicted.
And my point is, I was convicted in crypto. And if crypto or Bitcoin or Ethereum didn't do what I expected it to do, or the market turned, which it did, I'm still convicted in the underlying asset. I still want to hold the asset.
But now you're bag holding.
You know what I mean?
You're bag holding it at a serious
I'm not bag holding. I am not bag holding.
No, I'm not saying you are. I'm saying in this hypothetical example, if crypto tanks, even though you were, let's say you found your conviction at 61,000 at Bitcoin.
Put it like this: crypto could not tank enough for me to be in the negative at this point. That's how.
It has to go back to zero.
I gotta say something here. I gotta say something here. The reason that's the case, and Chris will agree with me, is because you got in at a great opportunity, which is exactly what me and Chris did. Truist could tank to fucking 25.
Dude, I believe in great opportunities. You're conflating it, and I want to move on to a different topic. But you're conflating conviction with opportunity.
I gotta get the audience in there.
Okay. We're saying that you have no conviction in what you did, even though you made a lot of.
I do. That is incorrect. That is an assertion.
As it falls to $25, $20, $15. Oh no, what's going on? Is my favorite bank in the world going down? Are you the guy who's going to be holding it till the end? Is that you?
You cannot say a stock's going from 30 to 15 just hypothetically, because
I'm just giving you a hypothetical.
No, but I can give you a hypothetical that Tesla's going to go to 50. These hypotheticals are quite frankly BS.
And I've heard them. I've heard them from the bears, and I was willing to buy more.
Okay. I heard all the bears saying regionals are going to collapse just like Silicon Valley Bank, and
so you're willing to buy more. Okay.
Well, if Truist goes back down to 25, yes, I am absolutely buying more.
What if it goes to 20 and then 15? I'm just saying there are scenarios you haven't played out.
Well, first of all, you guys are equating a 200-year-old bank with a real business with an electric with a brand new industry. So, like I said, this isn't just some random company that, like bank that we invested in and everything else. Like, you guys did your due diligence too. Like, I sat there with you. I explained what the logic and reasoning was behind this play. It wasn't something like that was super, in my opinion, it was less speculative than a lot of other investments that I've made, because for a bank that's actually performing, that's got assets, that has a business, that has a moat around it, has exposure to an existing client base, it's a lot more secure. So all I'm saying is there are very few times where things like this that go on sale, and it behooves you not to be able to capture it. This time, the reason why I was able to capture such a good position on it is not necessarily because the position was like, oh my God, but the options mispricing was the craziest part. That's where we really made a good amount of money in terms of due diligence. And it was the same thing with SoFi. Fuck it, I'll let the cat out of the bag. Me and Amit are holding a ton of SoFi calls because at the same time, when you look at the volatility, it made no sense. SoFi has multiple catalysts that were coming up. So we were risking money. Don't get me wrong. We were risking money, but the risk that we were taking was very small compared to the outsized returns that we are getting right now and we could be getting in the future.
I'm also look, if you sign up for our Patreon, man, you can look at my trades.
Plenty of SoFi calls.
I'm balls deep in SoFi as well.
Anyway, I think we should move on.
No, but real quick, Carlos, to that point, you being balls deep in SoFi calls and having Tesla is because you're older, you've got the money. I just don't have that much capital. So if I want to make a really nice return, I've got to consolidate at some level, right?
I agree. You have to consolidate.
Personally,
that's not where we're disagreeing about.
And Carlos, I hope this thing, I just hope this builds him a base that he can use to find investments like Enphase and Tesla and everything else. When you're 25,
it's right there.
No. All I got to say.
I want to hear Chris's response to what Vitaly just said. Chris,
no. I'm just saying when you're a young guy, right, and you're capital constrained, right, you literally have to wait 5 years to 10 years to get to the point where the capital is meaningful enough to give you a good return that's going to impact you in life. Not to mention, we're at a different point in life. Like I told you guys, when you have $1 million, the conversation that we had earlier today, I think is a very pointed one, where if you have $5 million worth of assets, it's easy for you to hold 4 million of that and just chill. Okay, because you don't have the constraints of the day-to-day stuff that you have to deal with. You don't have like the expenditures. So you can tell someone like what's the name? Sonny. Sonny has a ton of money in Enphase. He's made good amount of money. So now at this point, he can just put that money away and chill. He doesn't have to worry about the day-to-day stuff. He doesn't have to worry about the grass situation that you have going on, Vitaly, right? With the pool situation.
Dude, that grass is expensive.
So all I'm saying is for us, it's easier. For us guys, it's easier to say, hey, you should just buy some high-quality companies and hold, and you'll be fine because we have money. Like our net worth is up there.
I know, but
you're
talking about now.
Still building something.
Hold on, I'll just give a quick story. When I started, I didn't have money. And the first thing I did was buy a piece of real estate with a guy who was younger than me. I was 22. He was 21. We spent our 10 grand. We got a shitty house that was broken with cockroaches. And that's where we spent our money. We didn't go dump it in the stock market or go to Las Vegas.
No, but that version of your story is YouTube for me. Like that's that's the digital version of my
whatever. But my point is that took in the next 10 years to get a lot of money. It took a whole decade of us grinding it out to make something real that became much bigger. Okay. Yeah. You're trying to take a shortcut.
No,
but
no
conviction.
No.
You're trying to take a shortcut with no conviction.
No,
that's
the
worst
world
thing
is
you can
way
do.
different. There's the internet now. We don't have to do that.
The world is different. In 2010, we had no internet.
no, it's not that. It's just there's Bitcoin now. There's that's not the best.
All right,
argument.
I want to make a point.
Should we talk about Coinbase for a minute?
We have 3 people in the back. We got to bring them up on stage.
The last thing that I would say is this: if we had a conversation about this, I would have at least liked to have the conversation about getting rid of some of that Palantir stock to buy fucking Truist and leave the Tesla shares alone. That would make more sense to me than
Palantir's up 140%. Smart. Palantir's up 140%. Hold on,
Palantir's up 100. Dude, get rid of the Palantir. Sorry.
Hold on, I'm not saying get rid of it. You can take 10% off.
Take $4,000 out of that. Say this thing has been bleeding cash on me. Let me deploy some of this.
But that would have been the wrong strategy because Palantir's up 140%.
Well, no, right now it's up. You can take some out.
That's my point. So why
are you taking any profit now? Or are you going to let that, if it tanks back to 9, have you taken any profit?
You just told me to not trade in and out of stock. So why would I take some profit?
No.
Now your ideology.
But what I'm saying is,
Amit, you're actually not debating well on this one. You're actually losing a lot, and you don't even know it, which is weird.
Actually, let me just summarize this right now.
Your master debating has ruined you.
Hold on, Carlos, you told me if you have conviction, stay with it. You don't get to judge what my conviction is on because that's individual investing. Why would I sell out of Palantir even if you don't agree with it, if you're telling me don't sell out of your conviction,
because
that
the
literally
stock,
is
because it hasn't performed. Because
it's up 100.
No.
No. It's up. It's up. Hold on.
You don't have to sell all of it. Carlos is not saying sell all of it first. I don't think you're saying that, right?
It's very easy to say it's up. It's up from a time frame that you're looking at now. What is it up from when you bought it? Nothing. Zero.
But Tesla, I bought it at
Well, what is Palantir up? What the 25 grand or whatever you put into Palantir? What has it done for you?
Yeah, it's barely breaking even.
All right, we have people waiting in the back. Bring them up.
Let the chat say. What do you?
Anyway,
I
love you,
some people.
Amit, I love you like a brother. Seriously,
I love you too. All right, June, what's up, man?